Art the Clown is back, funnier, bloodier, and even meaner than before, but does Terrifier 3 live up to the hype that was left by Terrifier 2? Now, it's been about a year since this movie has come out, so I rewatched it. This is gonna be my second time watching it, and I found a few things that I liked about it and a few more things that I didn't like about it. I'm gonna tell you all about that in my spoiler-free review. Now, if you've seen the movie, let me know your favorite part about it down in the comments, because there is a lot to like about this one. Let's get started. Now, the first thing we gotta talk about is the Christmas theme of Terrifier 3. This thing is drenched in Christmas. It's as much a Christmas movie as it is a horror movie. And what I really liked about that is that they went all in with it. They get very creative with the kills that Art does. He's dressed in a Santa costume, and if you have seen the movie, you know exactly how he gets that Santa costume, and it is not going to pick it up at the store. He gets it the only way that Art ever would. So yeah, the Christmas theme of Terrifier 3 might be the most fun thing about it. You have Art walking around in a Santa costume and how he always has his bag full of treats. Now it's kind of like, what presents does he have for the kids in here? And he's got some presents in there. So I think that going this route was a surprise, and I don't know if when it was announced if I was really for it, but watching it once and now watching it a second time, I gotta say this is the most fun out of all three Terrifiers that you're gonna have watching because of the Christmas theme. And taking a look at Art, the character Art, he is having a blast in this. David Howard Thornton is just at his prime in this movie. He's having so much fun doing whatever he's doing, the snow angels in the blood. Like, he is just having a blast wearing the glasses. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen the movie, he just fully embodies the Christmas jolly, having fun spirit. He's already having fun because he's a mime, and you've seen that in the past movies, but he just takes it to another level in this. And once again, you have the Christmas theme to thank for it. There are other things that happen in this that aren't Christmas related that he does that's just hilarious, but it just seems like him and everybody else in the cast are a lot more relaxed in this one. They really found their groove with this one, and they really built on what they set up in Terrifier 2 as far as the characters and just even the actors themselves. They are having a blast, and that's one of the other things that I liked most about this movie. Everyone's having fun, and you really feel that. And if we look at another character that's returning from Terrifier 1, we have Victoria, and let me say, she is freaky in this. She's nowhere near what Art is doing as far as, you know, taking the spotlight in the movie, but she's in it a decent amount, and the things that she does, she is unhinged, it's gross, it's wild, and she just feels evil, like maybe a little bit more evil than Art at times. It's crazy. So having her in there is a nice little, you know, companion, a little extra villain for us to deal with, because she can talk, and she definitely talks a lot to Sienna and just really plays off this other extra evil force in this, and it really works really well for the narrative as far as the story of what they're trying to tell, but also just a little extra for all of us watching the movie. And the last character we're going to talk about in this review is Sienna, because she is the main girl. She's the main final girl of the Terrifier series, and she knocks it out of the park yet again. Watching it a second time, I was able to notice something. Watching it originally, I was like, oh, she's had a long history with Art, even though it was only in the second movie. But looking back on the second movie, they only meet at the end, and they have the big battle at the end. Watching it now and watching how she is dealing with it 5 years later of what happens in Terrifier 2, it's very believable. She's going through some stuff. She's having a hard time coping with what she went through that night, and it just feels more believable. I don't think anyone's gonna go through what she went through and just be perfectly fine. It works for her character. And then when it comes time to actually have the big battle with Art again, it makes sense. It makes sense how she went from being traumatized from what happened in the last movie to really stepping up and doing whatever she needs to do to take Art out. And it just felt believable. That progression of the character works so well, which makes me even more excited after watching it a second time and really gathering all my thoughts. It makes me more excited to see where they go in Terrifier 4, considering that's supposed to be the last one. So we're gonna get all the answers of her backstory, which we get a little bit in this. Not as much as I hoped for. I really was hoping that we get some questions answered from the second movie into this one, but it kind of just raises a little bit more questions than it answers yet again. So I hope we get a full circle moment in Terrifier 4 for her character, for Art, for everybody. But once again, she knocks it out of the park, and she is a badass, once again, taking Art down in this movie. Or at least trying to take him down, because that dude doesn't go down. And the gore and the practical effects are something that is a staple in the Terrifier franchise, and this one, absolutely delivers. The things that they go for may not be the bedroom scene of Terrifier 2. That's hard to top. That is just very hard to top. But watching it a second time, they are right there. Like if Terrifier 2 bedroom scenes right here, they're here consistently. Like that's another thing. This movie is very brutal. And they do such a great job with the gore, with the practical effects of showing things at the right time to really get under our skin, but only for a second or two to cut back away. And they just know how to do it. They know how to do it. They know how to do practical effects. Damien Leone knows what he's doing. And once again, they're going to try to top that in Terrifier 4, but it is a nice progression of going from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 being more brutal than 2 more consistently. It's wild. And if you're into that stuff, if that's why you like these movies, you're going to love this in Terrifier 3. Now, something that I didn't like about the movie, especially watching it a second time and kind of knowing what I'm going into already and then actually watching it, is the pacing. I had an issue with the story itself, where originally I thought that there was a lot more that happened, a lot more questions that were answered. Watching it now, not much happens. Like full stop, not much happens. It is a lot of Art going from A to B to C and just doing his thing until he meets up with Sienna. So that's kind of the same formula they followed with Terrifier 2, and it works. It really does. But it's still something that I wish we had more of. Like I wish that they met maybe a little bit earlier in the story and they had a little bit of, you know, a scuffle, a little battle, and then they meet up at the end. Something a little bit along those lines. And maybe that's what we're gonna get in Terrifier 4. I'm not sure. But that's something that I really wish that we had in this, and I think the movie would have done a little bit better pacing-wise if we had that. And another thing that didn't work for me in this movie, especially the second time, is Jonathan. Watching what his character was written to do and what they gave him to do was so bad, right? All he was doing was complaining and whining the entire time, and then whatever happens to him happens to him. This is a spoiler-free review, so I can't go into that. But I just wish his character got to do more. Sienna got to do more. Why not Jonathan? When they are brother and sister and they're both going up against Art and they are both connected to Art in this, however it's going to be. We don't know yet because they don't give us the answers yet. But I just wish that his character got more, because he is a very likable character. And the dynamic with him and Sienna being brother and sister, going through what they went through, it just would have made more sense. And I would have loved to see more of Jonathan do more and just not be complaining the entire time. Now, at the end of the day, Terrifier 3 is a blast. If this is your type of movie, if you saw the first two and you like them, there's no doubt in my mind you're gonna love this one. It progresses the story, it progresses the special effects. You feel the evolution of Art, of Sienna, of the filmmaking, everything. This one does it so well, and it's a little bit shorter than Terrifier 2, so that's kind of a good thing, where these movies don't need to be crazy long, so it kind of dials it back, and it just does a lot of things right. Now, there are a few things that didn't work for me, and I already told you about those, but if this is the level of quality that we're going to be getting for the duration of this franchise and the progression, we are cooking, y'all. This is a franchise that's gonna be cemented in horror history. Art is already a horror icon. I don't care what anybody says. Dude is iconic. He's at Halloween Horror Nights already. He's at Spirit Halloween just as much as every other horror icon. Art is here, and this movie is the most fun, I'd say the most fun of the entire franchise of Terrifier. So if you've seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. And if you want to see my review of Terrifier 2, check out that video right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.